clergy to come.
Who daily bears us up. God is our salvation. Our God, dear brethren, lift us up and to carry the Lord on behalf of the people, so that we may have good insights, being citizens of this county and help.
Honorable members, I want to welcome you all to the 4th County Assembly. Today being Thursday, 15th February 2024, it is at 2:30 p.m. Clerk, can you read out the order paper?
Order number 2, address to the remarks. Order number 2, welcome remarks to the Honorable Speaker. Order number 3, address to the County Assembly. May I please His Excellency the Governor.
Your Excellency the Governor, honorable members seated in the plenary, members of the clergy, members of the 4th Estate, good afternoon. Today, basically, as required by our laws and our standing orders, to be able to read or to listen to our governor's speech, to pass 81 reports, 20 petitions, and all statutory and regulate the County Health Facility Improvement Bill 2023, the Finance Bill 2023. They're happy that with the high number of petitions brought by this public, which is clear, we will always ensure that we interrogate the petition and dispense them expeditiously. I also want to reiterate the need of the of checking the executive so that the development programs and plans to problem facing the county is by leaders working together as a team. Finally, Your Excellency, as an assembly, we will continue working closely with the assembly are put on time and as requested. To invite, and let's all of us be upstanding, to invite His Excellency.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members of the County Assembly. Good afternoon. It's my great pleasure to join you today as I report to the people of Busia on the state of our county. I come before this esteemed chamber to deliver my inaugural State of County address before political colleagues whom I have had the pleasure of interacting and working with for nearly some of you 2 decades. I served in the cabinet as the minister in charge of various dockets, which included sports, fisheries, and local government, and today as the CEO of this great county of Busia. I am accordingly in company of very familiar friends. However, this afternoon, as I deliver this speech to this august house, one of our political friends, Abiud Omayot Ochinye, is not in our midst. a distinguished and pioneer member of this assembly, a two-term member of the County Assembly for Amkura Ward West, and former councillor, whom I had opportunity to work with as the Minister for Local Government, has gone to be with the Lord. At this juncture, to rise to your feet and join me in observing a minute of silence in honor of Brother Ochilo. Thank you. May his spirit rest in peace. Mr. Speaker, I wish from the onset to assure you that the state of our county is optimistic, although not as healthy as we would expect it to be. But before I embark on this long constitutional duty of delivering the State of County address, as contemplated under Section 32J and 32K of the County Governments Act, I note with satisfaction the critical role the County Assembly has continued to play in facilitating and driving the realization of our mission by appropriating resources and oversighting the executive, and also more important, representing the people. I'm happy to note that the County Assembly has continued to play legislative and regulatory frameworks, acting laws that are necessary for or incidental to the under the fourth schedule of our Constitution. Under the stewardship of the Right Honorable Speaker of this House, my brother Odilo, it has immensely contributed to improved service delivery to the people of Busia through the peaceful coexistence and harmonious working environment between the Assembly and the Executive in your opening remarks. Mr. Speaker, sir, today as I deliver those in line with our vision and mission. On financial status, Mr. Speaker, us down. Emerging from this financial underperforming administration, my government has come up with to stay on course. We have accordingly put in place measures to increase our own source revenue for the county, as well as automation to check on wastages. And the outcome has not been as disappointing. My government is still financially afloat despite these challenges that we are facing, both in terms of what is being recorded nationally and what we are also going through as a county. Mr. Speaker, sir, when I took over the leadership mantle of this county in September 2022, top on my priority list for the residents of Busia was economic prosperity. This is a rather enormous and all-encompassing goal, and we had to design appropriately. We embrace the ward-based economic revitalization approach. It is used during our campaigns. As ward under your leadership, I know most members here understand and appreciate this development approach. The ward-based has accorded you the opportunity to play a leading role, not only spearheading public participation, but also in guiding the overall development agenda of our people as well. Ideally rolling out development initiatives via ward, trying to appreciate the diversity, uniqueness, capacity of each of our 35 wards. These move further ensure participation and benefits are geared towards the local citizen. The move further ensures development programs are executed through this system, and I therefore urge all the residents of Busia to join cooperatives within their respective wards to make it easy for them to be facilitated. Mr. Speaker, sir, the provision of hot, nutritious meal to our East last week is one of the outcomes of the situation that some of our young people in Busia, where 15% of our young people are either completely malnourished or retarded both physically and mentally, provided to us. Honorable members, this program is not a standalone venture. Through the World-Based Economic Revitalization Program, we are also creating linkages with farmers to support projects by producing enough foodstuffs for consumption and equally generating income to our rural economies. To this effect, we have engaged, just to use as example, Magombe Multipurpose Cooperative Society and Bumuma Rice Farmers Society to be able to provide rice towards this school feeding and ECD feeding production, hence increasing smallholders' access to school feeding markets. We are trying direct purchases from smallholders through ward-based exchange between the cooperatives and stimulating local economies. It entails multiple value chains, and one of the areas that we are also targeting, Mr. Speaker, sir, almost 100 billion shillings to import edible oils. And Busia has been identified as one, not only the county generating incomes, but also contributing self-reliant in edible oils, and therefore still further increasing and improving livelihoods of our farmers through being able to get markets for their products. And on edible oil crops, we are also looking at fishery through the Blue Economy Initiative, and currently we are negotiating with some of our partners where this county lost out on an 11 billion project through the Inland Fisheries Development shillings previously, but this time we are trying to push that Busia, in terms of the blue economy, will become one of the pioneer, or they call it what? The example that they are going to use to try and stimulate this activity. On that note, Mr. Speaker, sir, the world-based aggregate their products to be able, through that aggregation, to create for them markets and to also do value addition for them, either through our aggregate market. In line with this development approach, this week, my government again unveiled the Mechanism Support Program through purchase of tractors, where we are promoting and our target is that we need to do around 20,000 acres of land. 20,000 by 35 tells you an average of what we need to do. We only need to get at least a minimum 700 acres from you. That just means a farmer with 1 acre or half an acre in your own capacity to remove 700 households from poverty, removing them from engaging in activities that are not generating any income to activities that generate income. Members, you are in charge of wards. Currently, I know I'll come to that, but we have got CHPs. Each CHP you can do better on just with 500 households as a member, as a representative of a ward. If we do this, we will be able to cover almost 150,000 households whom we have already registered. And each household with an average, then it means we will be targeting almost 700 population of Busia. We would have reached everybody through this ward-based program. So with proper mechanized tilling and agricultural extension, where, honorable members, again, we have employed 400 extension officers. The only reason challenges we are facing is the legislation which is also going to come before you here. It is already before the Senate on the issue of grants between the national government and county governments. It has slowed down this project. But we had already procured 400 extension officers, an average of 10 per ward, to help our farmers, to work with the cooperative officers, to be able to educate our people. In addition to this, we are also going to give subsidized farm inputs. We are giving seeds, we are giving fertilizer, we are giving that support to be able to support this ward-based economic revitalization program. I can't see why we cannot achieve, even if it is not these 20 bags of maize per acre, 5 or 1 bag. These are the things that have tied our people into poverty. We can change this. And you are very instrumental in working with our technical teams to ensure that this happens. And we are not talking about futuristic things. We are already in February. But we need to embark on tilling. I'm very happy that the program that we launched 2 days ago, even the tractors have not left there because of the number of farmers that have registered. This morning, because we were saying we needed at least for each tractor 10 acres per day. And I'm told the program we did in Butula, it is even overwhelming. One tractor had a breakdown, and I got calls to say, wametoa tinga hapa na wakulima ni wengi. So that is encouraging. If we all support that, it is going to help us sort out our food security issues. And it is going to also help us fight poverty. The reason today we are feeding children in our schools is because at home we know the dire situation that our children are going through. That's why the county government has allocated in this financial year, again through you, honorable members, almost 30 million shillings in that ECD feeding program. But you know it's not enough. But at the end of the day, it is to encourage our people to be able to feed their families. On infrastructure, Mr. Speaker, sir, upon assembling my government in 2022, we hit the ground running by prioritizing the state of our roads, both in Busia town and in various other places. As we speak today, we have, especially like for Busia, where the Busia town, because of Malaba municipality and Busia, where the state of our road, you all know, there was no parking. Our people who are being knocked every day, our ladies who come to town here to look for IDs, to look for services, they don't know how to cross the roads. Cycle accident, you'll get a trailer accident. We embarked on that program. We did what we did, but it has what I told you, the dear economic situations and the prevailing political environment here. Because as we speak today, the contractor is not on site. But we are still pursuing that so that we are able to sort out this town. Equally, we are looking at so that we are able to remove these trucks. If you go to Malaba, every day, the reports that I get, on average, I have never gotten less than 10 kilometers of trucks on road. That means it is not just trucks on road. Those trucks are not playing any economic role in this county. And yet, we are a frontier county strategically at the border. That anything that positions us strategically where we are, we are not able to offer any services. And we are told these people are in a jam, we are the ones who are inconveniencing them. So it is so crucial that we come up with trailer, build up our own capacity to be able as a county to do that. That is an income generating activity. Because on average, we are doing between 2,000 and 3,000 trucks per day between Malaba. Our infrastructure is not good. We are also in the process of negotiating or renegotiating with the trademark and the issue of the bypass that was supposed to come from Budokomi through Maenje to just ease. We are all aware that this corridor, all the way from Kisumu, from the 70s, nothing has been done. At least the Malaba-Eldoret corridor, there was something that was done other than the trucks in Kandui, to see trucks in Salga. All these people should be at the border here, waiting to be for our people. That is how we want to place Busia strategically. Mr. Speaker, as I continue to speak now, we also know that in terms of infrastructure, we did the Nasewa County Aggregation Industrial Park, where the work is still going on. But in addition to this, Mr. Speaker, at the end of this month, in the next 2 weeks, we will be doing the groundbreaking in Nasewa in 2 weeks' time. That we have already, the tender has already been awarded. Leave us out. You are able to approve, to allow us to put in some seed money to allow for Busia to be tendered. And I think we are among the 5 counties that are benefiting from that project. So I want to thank you on as an excuse to leave us out. And as some of you are aware, sometimes they always say that but hata kama hatuko na wenyewe, we are part and parcel of the Republic of Kenya. And I want to thank you that through your support, we were able to seed some money, and Busia is among the 5 counties where the EPZ has been procured, and we will be doing groundbreaking in the next 2 weeks in Nasewa there. Besides what that is going to do, because our slogan is that we are the gateway county, but there has been nothing gateway about us. We have not strategically positioned ourselves to benefit from our positioning as a border county. These activities are going to help us position ourselves as a border county, and they must be Busia. And I'm looking forward to both Malaba and Busia town to make sure that they are now municipalities, both Malaba and Busia. I want to thank again that they were able to be removed, and as we speak today, we have a board in Malaba, we have a town manager, the board and the town manager. Because how critical this is, honorable sector support programs. But because we didn't have any municipality, there was nobody to follow up some of these things. And I think we are one of the few counties in Western region that missed out on that. That's how municipalities, and I hope those we have given opportunities will be able to correct those. Mr. Speaker, sir, on collaboration between the county and development, the Constitution of Kenya, it contemplates collaboration between the national and of powers. For that purpose, may set up joint committees and joint authorities. Allow me to inform this House that we are the only county. You have had opportunities up to the border here, it has been done. In all other counties, it has been done. To Mundika, I mean not from Matayos to Luanda, to Nangina, through Siopot, Sisenye, we are the only county in the whole of East Africa of Lesser God. Mr. Speaker, again on collaboration, and these are issues that I had already highlighted, that already on already spoken on this collaboration 2 weeks ago. We had opportunity to take over the Malakisi water projects for the water and 160 million shillings for the sewage of Amoit. whom we have been speaking with, and the national government, and get us these 360 million shillings so that we can sort out the issue of that is just part of the collaborative efforts that we are speaking about, and it's a cross-cutting. We are all aware about the employment problem in this county for a job. It is either, if it is in the public sector, it is either the national government or the county. And if we have to create our own opportunities, and that is why it's so important that some of these transformative projects on how it can be enhanced so that our young men and women who are coming out of university. I'm also delighted to inform the honorable members that we have already stalled the issue of our extension officers, because this house will be required to Upchad Way. We have not received any conditional grants as we speak now. That's why some of our activities are not taking. What we are raising and the normal conditional transfers is what we are using. In fact, we are just borrowing. You are going to fast track it and do justice to it, and also be able to program of Low and Zoya irrigation scheme, moving away from energy pumped irrigation to gravitational irrigation gravitational project, cutting out the cost of power, and it is only doing 10,000 acres, 6,000 are in Siaya, 4,000 are in Busia. In this project that we'll be launching, I can see my dear brother there smiling in this assembly. We were with you there. I think you know what I'm talking about, honorable member, our special elect member. So this is another milestone. The second phase, which we have already negotiated, again through the national government and the World Bank, will be targeting another 10,000 acres in Budaland. That means that Busia, we will be positioned as maybe the second, if not number one, in terms of rice production, 40,000. So the potential for us again to contribute in this country, Busia County will be counted on this. And on that note, production within these 4,000 acres towards the end of this month, if everything goes the way we have. Members, you know that housing, water, agriculture, all these are developed. You have seen a lot of debate, you are not strangers. What my government is doing, if we decide that some of these functions are still being done by the national, to give them land where it is available and have a framework. Because we know at the end of the day, these are devolved functions. Any program that will come, just tell us what support you need. If you need land, we will support you with the land, you carry on. Because at the end of the day, a willing facilitator in this program, because I know it is being done in constituencies, nearly by every member of parliament, even markets, which are devolved functions. Where an MP feels that the national government has allocated them, all we are saying, the county government, we will play a facilitating role until we sort out those constitutional issues. We are not going to use the constitutional issues as to which functions belongs to who to stall developments in this county. To me, I will facilitate you. If you come and you tell us you have secured a building of the market, you are a member of parliament, we will sit down, the MCA of that area involved, ourselves, and we'll say what one is a suitable area. And we will avail land to you to put it up, because we know at the end of the day, the counties are going to run those things. So I'm not going to join a league of some of my colleagues who are saying, no, these are devolved functions, they must be left to do them. If that time comes, we will deal with it. But for now, if it is happening, we will allow it to continue so long as we have got a framework of understanding and collaboration that I think is okay. And on the same note, between the affordable housing and also seen that MTCs have also now been told that you need to work with the counties to develop. So county, we are also again willing to support them, both in terms of infrastructure to expand, ability to be able to attract more students, ability to put up the hostels. We are not going to say that, okay, it is being done by this, we will not avail land. We will do that. Technic now in Bumbe, we are also going to support them. Put up those hostel facilities. That is the way I've advised. That there are still lacunas in the Constitution, and the intergovernmental use that to deny our people development. Let us chew gum and walk at the same time. I'm sure we will arrive there one day. Which is charged with the responsibility of monitoring and evaluating the performance and delivery of various services across all departments. The outcome, we found that we were bogged down with a lot of bureaucracy, all the way from procurement. Well, that you are looking at everything all the way from the way it is conceived to the time when Wananchi is getting services. Because at the end, and through this performance contract, this narrative that I'm permanent and pensionable will belong to the dustbin of pensionable when you are not delivering services. So everybody will sign performance. We are subjected to this every 5 years. And even you, honorable members, at the end of that, you are sacred. Once you get a contract, you say I'm permanent and pensionable. And towards your performance. And this will apply to everybody. Just like I'm looking forward in another performance contract report. So you cannot say to deliver services and you don't want to work just because you think you are permanent and pensionable. That we are fully committed to make sure that all our is in delivery of our health. This was one of the because of poor services. Mr. Speaker, this sector, you are very supportive as a house, for the best. And we said at least we need to identify a facility and have a system where even you honorable members through your oversight role, you can check and see how many people were treated. If we brought 100 drugs of malaria, did you treat 100 people for you to tell us that the drugs are over? These are some of the transformative things that we are talking about. And honorable members, I'll be urging you, please, play your oversight role ruthlessly. Because this is about the lives of our people. Put it in the word, we said we'll work with you to identify a facility whereby at least the basic drugs, we know our problems here, malaria, urologist to anybody. And you need to make sure that in the department this is done. That is the clarion call. But we forget that as we say that comically, people, I'm also happy that we have worked with the ministry to be able to receive an alert when the county puts on an order, what has been supplied and what has not been supplied. When you are seeking any other alternative, I will also be aware that yes, this is not. I'm still a bit disappointed because we have not honored our obligation, just planning cash flow program. There are people who owe KEMSA almost 300 million shillings, but they are still getting dragged. Program, let us collaborate together with the 2,190 community health promoters, whom we have in the villages and in the homes. And if they're able just to take care of 100 households, as we have put, then it means we are aware a lot of infrastructure. This is one area where we have advertised. These are ECD classrooms, and not just classrooms. Even this, it was passed by this. Even this, it was passed by this honorable house. Some of your wards where that scheme has not reached. And some small pockets should be allocated. So how it can be at the whim of an individual? Mr. Speaker, sir, through trade, you are all aware that needs to be supported so that our cooperative. I also made a bold decision to try and reorganize our town. And unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, clear our road systems. But unfortunately, This has been missing to an extent that we are almost on the brink of anarchy in some quarters of our county, because nobody will go back to those public places. We said we will be able to allocate you places that we can designate, but not the sewage, not the drainage, not the road. Because this county never progressed. We lost out 400 million shillings, and I reported to this house. Because there are cultures where people believe that you cannot put up a structure in a place which is not allowed. So when they see you moving people, they think you're interfering with livelihoods. Because they'll be asking you, how did these people get in that place in the first place if they are not supposed to be there? So we lost out that 400 million shillings. What I'm implementing here is what was passed by this assembly when it was still even a council, more than 10 years ago. But today, it has been changed, it has been politicized to look like it is just a decision that was made. That was a decision of this house, to say people must move, to allow the town to be organized. But we have had, Honorable Speaker, ourselves here, going against our own resolutions, because the job of the executive is to execute. But that decision was made by this house. But I have agreed I'll carry that cross for the sake of the future generations. So that we are going to do some kiosks in areas that are designated to promote trade, because we want to promote trade. Even what we are doing to expand the town and, make the town more investor friendly is to promote trade. It's not to stifle business. It is to promote trade. But we are also aware of vulnerable members of our community, the small-scale traders that we need to support. But we must also support them in a way that it does not stifle the growth of this county. And this will be carried out across everywhere. Even in Malaba, we are going there very soon. But I hope we are going to do it maybe in a better way, given the lessons that we have learned, and so many other places. Because we must open up these places for the future. And it is our responsibility to do that. And it is this assembly that passed it. If this assembly feels it worthy to revisit and reverse what they had passed, it is within your constitutional mandate to do that. But all I'm doing is implementing what was passed by this assembly, honorable members. And that we are trying to create a enablement to support that. Honorable members and Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me at this stage that is mandated to play to enable the county government carry out service delivery staff establishment for the county. As we speak today, we are still using the transitional authority document, we are still using the one for the transition authority. I tend to believe that the department concerned in these means and that we are in. So we are also saying that they need to do that approval. And this is a key document. I want to urge as a county on a human resource manual that needs to have going to be able to support this county devoid of all these wild claims that we have. That you do, your oversight role allows you. The concern, but sometimes we want half-baked information. You are entitled by the nation rather than speculation and things that and even don't add any value. Because some of them are where this county needs to go. On the issue of water, I think I had already mentioned, we have a big problem with Boasco. We inherited Boasco with a fault line. They have debts, they have no records, same thing, just like we are talking about payroll. Because we found there's a problem. As I speak before this house, we found a deficit was existing. And it is being problems that I've talked. So Boasco had problems, but we must fix it. Because we have got no other way, that is the body. We already now have a body in place. They need to recruit the manager. Last time I remember our senator, our honorable senator, saying there's a stranger he had not been recruited properly, but it has been corrected, and we hope that we are going to give them again the support through this house. Because the project that we are going to take over in Malakisi to support what I just said earlier will require so many days without water, and we don't need to be in that kind of thing. So on that note, I also want again to thank our development partners, because one of the biggest water projects that we have is that Malakisi, and again we need also to develop Sisenye and the one, this one here for the Busia town that we need to be looking at. In conclusion, Honorable, challenge on issues of climate. And currently we have got a project called FLOCA that needs to help us mitigate on climate. But you need to be champions yourselves. One of the biggest challenges most of you don't know, or you know, that we have on our roads is because of our degraded environment. You do a road today, you put maram, on the first rain, because the water is just moving too fast. So the programs to try and do capacity best, we can help our people in the process of the changing climate, what they can do. Mr. Speaker, I want again, as I conclude, to reiterate that the governor here is elected, with the deputy governor, you are all honorably elected members, we are accountable to the people. All the other people are supposed to just help us deliver on our mandate. And we must put measures in place to make sure that that happens. That's what we need to do. We are in this ball together. Those who think that you are not in this ship, it's unfortunate. Ask some of us, we have been around a little bit longer. All elected leaders, we are facing the same challenges, service delivery to the people. Where we can help each other to make sure that the service delivery, it will be important for us. Politics will come and go. A day in politics, I can tell you, is a very long time. And you can ask me that, and one of these days I'll prove to you. A day in politics is a very long time. Don't waste your time on those things now. Concentrate on service delivery to your people. That time will come. Kwa siasa siku moja ni muda mrefu sana. You may think you know it all, but I can tell you a day in politics is a very long time. Let's not waste time on those things. And let us not make Busia like we don't have politicians here. This county has been produced great politicians. Second to none. Second to none. We don't need to copy anybody. We don't owe allegiance to anyone. We are politicians in our own right, just like any other Kenyan in any other county. So, to us, when the time comes, I don't think we are slow learners. Just like a day is long in politics, we will also utilize that day very well when the time comes. I have used 360 days, 5 years, but a day in politics is a long time. It depends on women who have decided that what can we do for our people. Like we know each other, and we know where to draw the lines. We know where to live and let live. That is all I can urge you. Tusiweke hii vitu ya siasa sana hii Busia County. Because we are not unique. We are just like any other county. On 29th, we have been invited in Homa Bay for the investment conference by Honorable Gladys Wanga, and some of you who are able to go there, go and see what she's doing there. Let us not be preoccupied with things that don't make any sense. That is all that I can urge you. At least 1.5 years has been long enough for us now to know each other. But let us know each other in a positive way. This public life, you don't invite somebody. Unapatana tu. And you don't need to like somebody to work with them. So long as work is being done, you don't need to create a social club. So long as work inaendelea, ni sawa. So mimi na waomba, waheshimiwa, tuko na kibarua kigumu kwa hii county. Tusaidiane. At least make a successful cooperative in your ward. It will help us. At least make sure these things we are doing are reaching there. It will help us. Adopt a health center And let it be part of your legacy to say, when I was here, I revived this thing. It will contribute collectively to all of us being successful. But if we just leave this thing, believe near governor, near nini, all of us took elected and we are responsible for something. So mimi nawaomba, pahali tumekoseana, tuachiane. Kila siku tunakuwa na maombi kwa hii county, na tena tutaendelea kuwa na maombi, because we are all human beings and we believe sometimes we fail short of the glory of God. But let us not sacrifice our people on very flimsy and childish things that don't make any sense. And let us also respect each other in our own way. This is what I'll urge you. So I'll be calling for a meeting for some of us with our religious leaders and everybody, because as a county, I believe we need to work together to solve our problems. We only have got a very little time in this world and we exit. Ingine tutawachia wengine. So let's not behave like we are here forever or we are the ones who know everything. Just play your role in whatever capacity. I have nobody else to work with other than yourselves. You are the elected MCA. Time will come, you'll have your opponents, but you are the elected MCA. I have to work with you. I have no choice. The MPs, I have also called them. Because I've told them where we have got issues, let it not affect service delivery. Because it's not about me. It's about our people. So please, I urge you members, 1.5 years I believe has now matured us. Hata kama ni certificate ama diploma tumepata. Let's learn to live together as politicians. We can have our differences, but we learn to live with them. Politicians will always have differences. So mimi naomba, in my conclusion, in my ending remark, that let us build our county. Nobody will come to build this county for us. Pali kuna upungufu, tusaidiane na tusukume mbele. Hiyo tu ndio mimi nitawaomba. And don't wait for me. If you have a good idea, bring it on the table. We will support. I want to urge you. We have only maybe another 2 years to work. After that, wataanza kuingia kwa siasa. Only 2 years probably to be very productive. So when you are wasting your time on too much politics, hiyo 1.5 years or 1 year, sijui utakuwa unafanya nini. Let's use this time kufanyie kwa watu kazi. And remember, a day in politics is a very long day. So we have 3.5 years. It is your choice to decide. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I conclude, may God bless this county and may God bless Busia.
We can't be seated. Clerk, next order. Honorable members, I want to invite the Leader of Majority to come and lay the speech as read by His Excellency the Governor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I then display the following paper on the table of the Busia County Assembly, today, 15 February 2024, the address of His Excellency the Governor. Mr. Speaker, I then display. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Next order. Clerk. Next order, clerk. Honorable members, I also wish to invite the Leader of Majority to come and give notice of motion pursuant to Standing Orders 20, Part 5. Honorable Majority Leader, please proceed and give notice.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Once more. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion. That pursuant to the Standing Order number 20, Section 5, the terms of the County Assembly be recorded for the expression of the public policy contained in the address of the government. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, honorable members. The notice having been given, and pursuant to the Standing Order 20, Part 5, debate on the motion shall not exceed 4 sitting days. Therefore, it is my request that the House Business Committee shall allocate date and time for this debate. Honorable members, there being no other business, this sitting stands adjourned to Tuesday, 20th February at 2:30 p.m.